The old library loomed quietly in the heart of London, shrouded in the comforting musk of time-worn pages and polished mahogany. As the creaking floorboards under Emma Larkin's feet echoed through the cavernous room, she descended into the basement with a cautious excitement bubbling beneath her composed exterior. Here, dim golden bulbs flickered above rows of forgotten volumes, casting elongated shadows across ancient tomes. Today, amidst the towering monoliths of leather-bound books, Emma found herself entranced by a particularly foreign script scattered across the pages of a dust-cloaked manuscript. Its edges frayed and its binding fragile, it whispered tales of a hidden time portal beneath the bustling city streets. Her initial reaction was skepticism, the logical side of her renowned for discrediting myths with cold, hard facts. Yet, as she traced her fingers over the faded ink, a jolt of unease shot through her, like a cold breeze ghosting across her skin. Later that night, the unease evolved into peculiar dreams. No longer confined to her scholarly existence, Emma found herself amid swirling tides of centuries past and roads yet built, an ever-changing landscape of time itself. She awoke with her heart pounding, her mind alight with the remnants of a spectral vision. It compelled her, driving a reluctance that wrestled against her academic instincts. In the comforting embrace of her cluttered study, she thumbed her journal, rereading her hurried scrawls about the manuscript. As her pencil hovered above a blank page, doubt gnawed at her resolve. But in her chest, an unyielding curiosity battled back, urging her to dig deeper. What if? She whispered to herself, the words a silent pact. As the pewter sky of London dawned another grey morning, Emma resolved to delve into the myth, her heart a mix of trepidation and anticipation. She could not ignore the possibility that this humble manuscript might hold truths cloaked in legend, truths capable of altering the very fabric of reality as she knew it. The cityscape morphed outside her window as Emma sat lost in thought, her tea untouched beside her. Sunlight filtered through the lace curtains, cascading in patches over her notes, sprawled across the dining table. Each piece of paper detailed frantic searches through archives, conversations overheard, and connections threaded hastily together. But now, it was all leading her to a murky revelation threatening to overshadow her quest. With furrowed brows, she reviewed her documentation on Ange Postecoglou, a name surfacing repeatedly during her investigation. Ange wasn't just a mere rogue, he was an enigma spiraling into danger, a ticking clock hiding in historical linens. As the thought consumed her, Emma gathered her courage and confronted her intern, Max, who had become an invaluable ally. I found something, she began, her voice trembling slightly. Ange is planning to alter historical soccer matches. Possibly to enhance his fame and fortune. It's no longer just history at stake, it's the integrity of time itself. Max ran his hands through his hair, the gravity of such a revelation grounding him. And you think he's targeting something big? He asked, a tinge of apprehension lining his words. Yes, Emma replied, her gaze distant yet focused. The World Cup. Max's sigh filled the room, tracing the outlines of their mutual astonishment. This changes everything, he muttered. It does, Emma acknowledged, feeling the moral weight descend upon her shoulders. The ethics of time travel had never been a real concern, a fantasy of science fiction until now. The possibility of its existence was terrifying. We have to stop him, Emma asserted, the resolve simmering beneath her worry. But we must tread carefully. This isn't just a game for glory, Max. It's a crossroad where we decide which part of history deserves to remain untouched. Their eyes met, a silent agreement forged in the uncertain dawn of possibilities yet to unfold. Emma felt both fear and fortitude rise within her, instilling a sense of urgency that compelled action. The air was thick with dust and the faint, musty scent of history's decayed grandeur as Emma wandered beneath the library's foundations. Rich with echoes of bygone years, the labyrinthine tunnels were carved into the underbelly of London, hidden from all but the most determined seekers of knowledge. In one trembling hand, she clutched the manuscript that had brought her here, its ink a deep blue under the dim echo of candlelight that she held in the other. The flickering shadows danced erratically across the rough-hewn stone walls, mirroring the tumult within her. Amid this orchestrated chaos, Emma located the portal, an unimposing archway etched with cryptic symbols shimmering under her candlelight. The air around it vibrated subtly, a faint hum that seemed to resonate through her bones. She hesitated, fear gnawing at her resolve even as a thrill of anticipation surged through her veins. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward and was enveloped by an otherworldly light, the tunnel behind her dissolving into the vibrant chaos of London's streets in 2022. Eddies of time whirled around her as cars zipped past, the air filled with the scent of exhaust mingling with the aroma of street food. Emma navigated through this anachronistic reality, her senses vigilant for the anomalies that could lead her to Ange. Strangers brushed past, each an oblivious thread in the fabric of this timeline, unchanged to the untrained eye but volatile just beneath the surface. In a crowded cafe, she found a fellow traveler, albeit one aware of the significance of their encounters. His name was Jonah, an eccentric historian from an unexpected timeline. "You sense it too, don't you?" he asked, his tone a mixture of dread and understanding as he sipped his espresso. "Yes," Emma replied, sharing her findings. The gravity of Ange's plans birthed a silence between them, filled with the profound responsibility of safeguarding history. Jonah handed her a handwritten map, marked with locations Ange had been seen frequenting. "He's stirring a delicate pot," Jonah warned, his eyes serious. "We must tread carefully." As Emma left the cafe, the stakes weighed heavily upon her, each step echoing with the realization that every moment was a fragile tapestry of time, one she was determined to protect. The once quiet alleyways of London now breathed with a menacing vitality as Emma ventured forward, her surroundings unnervingly familiar yet palpably out of sync. The air was thick with the scent of impending rain and a tension that tugged at the peripheries of her awareness. The mission was clear: navigate the time loops and deceptive paths set by Ange, each a cleverly woven trap designed to dissuade her pursuit. But with every feint and illusion he cast her way, her resolve only strengthened, grounded by the knowledge of what was at stake. A sudden shower drenched the city, the cool droplets transforming the pavements into reflective canvases that mirrored the deceptive nature of the reality she traversed. Emma shivered, her clothes sticking to her skin as she pushed on, the discomfort hardly registering compared to the kaleidoscope of thoughts and emotions churning within. In a twist of cognitive dissonance, the streets around her began to loop into themselves, dead ends where there should have been alleyways, facades of shops flickering with the ghostly semblances of businesses long since closed. "Damn it, Ange," she muttered under her breath, frustration heightening her alertness. Her internal compass seemed shot, and doubt curled at the edges of her determination. But the moments where she faltered only fueled her certainty in the righteousness of her task. Each ricocheted step under the weight of history's potential unraveling was met with a renewed ferocity in her stride. Emma encountered an unmarked door, as though beckoning her through its unobtrusive veneer. As she turned the knob and stepped inside, the atmosphere shifted, the air heavy with the stillness of premeditated intent. Inside, she found herself face to face with remnants of history she'd never imagined outside of textbooks, objects tethered to moments in time, delicate because of their significance. It was a tangible reminder: every action held consequences. Despite Ange's manipulations, the fabric of time was worth fighting for. With every passage Emma moved through, the stakes pressed down, evolving from abstract threats into concrete, undeniable truths. Her heartbeat steadied as a determination more profound than before compelled her forward, her vulnerabilities now shielded by grit and necessity. The murmur of historical significance resonated like a whispered secret in the heart of London as Emma approached the epicenter of Angie's scheme, Wembley Stadium in 1966. The air buzzed with electricity, possibly premonition or anticipation, as she found herself amidst throngs of soccer fans, their voices a symphony of excitement. Emma's eyes were sharp, scanning the crowded venue where history's memory ebbed and flowed. The scent of freshly cut grass mixed with the salt of sweat and boisterous cheers that echoed through time, anchoring her to the imperiled moment. Ange was here, she knew it by the unnerving harmony of his manipulations pressing against her senses. Her heart raced, adrenaline providing a clarity she had not anticipated. Steeling herself, Emma ventured into the depths of the stadium where reality and potential rippled together into a precarious tapestry. Amid the shadows beneath the wooden bleachers, Emma found her quarry. Ange was focused, meticulous in his preparation, like a maestro at the symphony's crescendo. His dark eyes darted towards her as if sensing the disruption on its way, his gaze sharp and calculating. "You're persistent," Ange stated, his voice a calm yet ominous lull that contrasted with the chaos he threatened to unleash. Emma leveled a cool stare at him. "This isn't just about soccer, Ange. It's about history, you can't just rewrite it to serve your whims." Ange smirked, an expression of indulgent superiority as he reached for the device at his side, something Emma intuitively understood could fracture the moment's integrity. The next few moments unfurled with frenetic energy as Emma lunged forward, her determination colliding with the technical machinations of time's engineer. The clash reverberated around them, the whir of the device set against their covert battle, a dance of maneuver and counter-maneuver. Words between them were minimal, each anticipating the other's moves as the contest waged on. Emma found strength in places she hadn't expected, her desperation matching Angie's cold precision. At a crucial juncture, Emma feigned weakness, a sudden vulnerability she leveraged, to snatch the device from his grasp. The gamble paid off, allowing her to disable its mechanism, the machine's hum deadening as a void of silence closed around them. The metaphorical dust settled as Angie's hubris crumbled in the failing face of his ambitions, history's sanctity secured through Emma's unwavering resolve. And with that, the world returned to its rightful course. In the resonant quiet following their confrontation, Emma felt the rush of triumph diluted by the sobering recognition of the task left unfinished. The city bustled around her as she stood momentarily rooted by the gravity of what she'd just accomplished, or begun. The portal loomed nearby, a silent sentinel of time's untouchable, hints of its light flickering as Emma prepared for the decisive endgame. The stones beneath her feet were cool and solid, grounding her determination against the ephemeral nature of time. As Ange recovered from his initial defeat, he seemed smaller, less imposing, a man out of his element, the timelines he so easily twisted having snapped back in his face, laying bare his vulnerabilities. Yet, Emma's victory was not hers alone. The echoes of historical figures faded in and out of the portal's vibrant veil, their influences ephemeral yet clear in their significance. Emma recognized and drew strength from them, understanding their place in guiding the outcome. "It's over, Ange," Emma declared, her voice sonorous with the conviction born from struggle and sacrifice. Ange, visibly defeated, offered a resigned exhalation, the bravado of a gambler outplayed. "Perhaps it is," he admitted, his inflection a candor tempered by the bitter taste of his own ambitions unraveling. A shadow passed over his features as he turned away, semi-defiant even in retreat. "You think stopping me changes anything? Others will follow in my path." His retreating figure bore a mixture of warning and the melancholy acceptance of his own place in the grand story. Emma watched him disappear into the folds of temporal obscurity, the kaleidoscope of time swirling with the possibilities of what could have been, a ripple now smoothed by her intervention. Her gaze shifted towards the portal, a keeper of secrets she was determined to protect. The expanse of untapped potential weighed lightly on her now, transformed from burden to privilege, a call to steward history, not rewrite it. Exhaling a breath she didn't realize she'd held, Emma felt renewed purpose coiling through her veins, alive with the knowledge that her actions had preserved the delicate continuum. Yet, the enormity of her insight lingered, and the mantle of responsibility gently awoke within her. Streams of light bathed London in a warm, amber glow as Emma emerged from the temporal shadows into the familiar bustle of 2025. Her feet found purchase on the cobblestones of a timeless city, a grounding reaffirmation of her success. Her mind was still buzzing with the events spanning centuries within those elusive seconds, a crooked narrative now straightened, a tapestry neatly woven with threads intact. The celebrations of the Europa League final reverberated across the city, cheering crowds framing the scene in vivid, unrestrained joy. Emma wove through the throng, a quiet satisfaction warming her like the golden rays painting the skyline anew. She found herself outside the stadium, where the echoes of victory lingered, sounds of triumph, laughter, the spontaneous chorales of soccer songs connecting people across generations. Each note merged past and present into a singular moment of shared significance. Max was waiting nearby, the knowledge of her triumph shining in his slightly awestruck expression. "You did it," he exhaled, relief buoying his words. Emma nodded, a soft smile tugging at her lips, a reflection of the camaraderie and challenges fostering this rare connection across eras. "We did," she corrected, acknowledging the shared effort, the curious unity that progress entails. Her heart was content, yet contemplative amidst the carnival of sights, sounds, and stories. With the portal's secret safe and history preserved, Emma found herself refining her purpose, studying history not just as chronicles of the past, but as a vigilant custodian of its present implications. "The portal?" Max began, hesitating, aware of the weight behind that question. "Safe," Emma answered simply but firmly. "A gift and a burden we'll share in our own ways. To safeguard, not exploit." As they stood side by side in the glow of celebrations, Emma felt a powerful kinship with time itself, a commitment forged in understanding, humility, and responsibility. Emma gazed into the horizon's embrace, not merely at the city she called home, but at the seamless blend of past whispers and future echoes vibrant in her heart. Her home was history, and in its living testament, she found her true